Hello, welcome. This is episode 56 of So Well Spoken. I'm Moris. With me is Angelus.
Yo.
And our special guest today, Brittany.
Hi.
Who's filling in for Mike, who had more important things to do today.
He got a car and doesn't know how to act.
This is exactly what happened. All right, so every Wednesday, Six Brown Chicks, the website SixBrownChicks.com, posts advice seekers explaining their current situation in hopes of getting some guidance. Today being Wednesday, there's a new batch of these advice seekers. The first question is, I caught the father of my 2 kids cheating for the 3rd time. This time, he was in our house while our son was asleep. He knows I have a warrant from beating his ex, so he uses that over my head when I try to react the right way with my hands. Help. Hashtag SBC chat.
Does it help? Wow.
I'm sorry for laughing, but I really don't know what to say to that. Like, that seems like a situation that could have been helped maybe the first time he cheated, but now you're on time 3, so.
Yeah, that's how I see it. I mean, at this point, it's her L too, because it's like, yo, first time, okay, if you want to take him back, cool, I guess, you know. Second time, should have cut him off. Third time, okay, come on. Come on. As far as him using the warrant or of you beating his ass over your head, man, that's layers of fucked up.
The warrant is from the guy's ex.
Yeah, I was going to ask, was it from beating his ass or beating his ex?
It's from beating his ex.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's like you can't beat her ass because she has a warrant. She has protection.
Yeah.
I bet his ex really appreciates that, though. That's some foresight.
What does she need help with? I don't understand. Like, what is she asking for help with?
She waited a little too long to ask for advice on this situation, I think.
Absolutely. Like, there's really nothing you can do.
Yeah. You just gotta let this go. Like,
right. It's time to wash your hands of that.
You just gotta get out.
I need more information on her situation. Are they living together? I mean, it seems like they're living together, definitely, but
is it her place or his?
Right. What's going on? I don't know. It just seems like, you know, around the first time it happened, I would have washed my hands of that situation, but
yeah, that would be my advice to her too. You should have dipped out the first time. Like, accept people for who they are, who they present themselves as, not what you want them to be.
I mean, all I'll say is don't beat his ex's ass, because then she's going to end up living in your house while you're in jail. You know that's going to happen.
yes.
She's definitely moving in. She's going to slide in real quick.
Yeah.
You get out, your kid's calling her mom. Oh, man.
Wearing your bathrobe.
Ooh, taking selfies with the bathrobe. Damn. Washing with her loofah. Like, shit. This is really trifling right here.
Ew.
Just don't commit assault.
Yeah. Just get out.
Yeah.
Just get out.
Yeah, I wouldn't go and beat her ass again.
Yeah, or find a friend to beat her ass for you. Plausible deniability.
I mean, don't even do that. Like, don't even just break up with him. You can start over. It'll be fine. I swear. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Question 2. I don't trust women anymore after what my ex did.
Oh my God. Here we go.
Basically slept with everyone in my squad. I've forgiven them, but secretly I've been sleeping with their dudes for my ego.
Wait.
I fell in love in the process. How do I tell him I want more than revenge sex?
Okay, wait. Rewind this.
I don't, that came in loud and clear for me. I don't know.
I had to read it twice too, because I'm a guy and I read it as if, I had the perspective messed up.
Okay, so I'm making sure that wasn't just me. Okay, so I'm still confused now, actually.
She
doesn't trust women because all her friends.
Oh, okay.
all of her friends slept with her man, or her man slept with all of her friends. So now she doesn't trust women anymore. But now she has gone and slept with all of her friends' significant others. But she's fallen in love with one of them and doesn't know how to break the news to him that she doesn't just want revenge sex.
I would say get a restraining order and maybe a warrant. Maybe if you could wrangle that. That might save you a few scraps.
Yeah, oh, she's definitely gonna get her ass beat at least once or twice. That's definitely happening.
More than once. It depends on how many friends she has.
Yeah, if her circle's big, she's definitely gonna catch, and then she's gonna catch one of those like jump-ins where they all beat her ass at the same time. So first she's gonna get those individual beatdowns, and they're gonna be like, "Girl, let's go hang out one day," and they all gonna jump her ass at the function. Like that's gonna happen. So she should just get ready for that off the bat.
Right. Or they're all just going to be waiting outside of her house and they're going to text her, like, come outside. We're not even going to jump you. And they're definitely going to jump her. It's going to happen.
Like, girl, we over that. These niggas are dusty. And then she walks outside and gets her ass beat. Like, damn.
Right. But also, I mean, her issue is that she doesn't know how to break the news to this person. Just tell him he's cheating on his significant other as well. Just like you're, messing with your best friends, whatever. Or not your best friend. Obviously, they ain't best friends because... I don't know, but just tell him. I mean, he's a cheater. So he's a cheater and you're sleeping with your friend's boyfriend. And your friend has also slept with your boyfriend. So you get what you get out of that situation, honestly.
She had all the nerve to do all that, but she can't ask this guy.
Right.
Like, where did all your guts go?
Right.
I apologize.
Question 3. You know that good black men y'all always looking for? I'm that guy.
Oh my.
I met an older woman that was the potential to be my missus, but she has a 19-year-old daughter that is destined to be my side.
Oh my sweet Jesus.
Now I see my girlfriend just to see her daughter. Advice. And in parentheses, he puts, from men only.
Wait. Okay, so that one I don't understand. What his 19-year-old daughter is going to be his... Well, not his 19-year-old daughter. That would be real fucking weird. But the person he's seeing, 19-year-old daughter, is destined to be his what?
Side chick.
Oh, Jesus.
That's basically what I said. Yeah, I don't really want to touch this whole one because this is just fucked up. First and foremost, dude's probably a kid diddler. I mean, if you're gonna go at 19, I don't really trust your judgment. Period. Secondly, he's self-proclaimed nice guy. I have this thing that I tell all my female friends: any guy who self-proclaims to be a nice guy, that shit is a red flag. Run the other way. Don't even wait for them to show you who they really are. Just run. So the fact that he said that and then he revealed who he is like right after that only just furthers my theory. But yeah, any man who would date a woman and then go after her daughter is a whole piece of shit and really just should not be allowed to be around people in general. Just put that motherfucker in solitary confinement 24/7 away from people.
But it's destiny.
Hey, it's destined for his ass to be in solitary confinement too. Or at the very least, her father should put hands on him. Somebody needs to put hands on him. Matter of fact, the whole neighborhood can put hands on him. It's fine. You know what? If I was a police officer, I'd help.
It's a good thing you're not a police officer. I don't even know what to say. That whole situation sounds very wrong. I mean, but yeah, just to backpack off of what you said, any person who prefaces their statements with, "Oh, I'm the nice guy women are looking for," I typically stay away from that type of person. And in this situation, it's just like, listen, this is a slippery slope we're on right now. You just said you were a nice guy, but then you just said the woman you're seeing, her 19-year-old daughter is destined to be your side chick. Grow up just a little bit.
It's destiny.
No. It's not destiny. I don't know what it is, but it's not that.
Creepy.
Yeah, that's pretty creepy. I mean, is she even a willing participant? Like, do these people ever give any more context to this? This is so weird.
This week was especially incoherent and messy.
Okay.
These were the most coherent of the questions. There's some that were beneath being on this podcast.
I see. Right. I feel like these people know that they're making bad choices and very bad decisions, and they're just like, hey, I want somebody to justify the dumb shit that I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking you guys these questions. Like, you know that you shouldn't be trying to make a 19-year-old your side chick. if the woman you're seeing has a 19-year-old daughter, that's probably something that you would want to stay away from. But what do I know? I'm just here, you know.
I lean towards those questions not being real, but I mean, you talk to enough people and there's a lot of stupid stuff happening.
That's true. That's the only reason why I keep thinking that they are real. It's like, all right, these are really outlandish, but at the same time.
Right, but are they really that outlandish though? They're not really. It's just,
I mean, some of them can be, but for the most part, you're right. They're pretty, like, as far as crazy shit that couples do, yeah, these are pretty tame.
Right. It's pretty in tune with the dumb shit people do, so I don't know.
All right, let's just talk about politics now. There's no saving this. The first topic we have for the political section of the podcast is an article from BBC World News about South Africa amending its constitution to allow land expropriation. I don't know how to say South Africa's president's name.
It's okay. I'm not any better, so I'm not even going to try.
Does that mean you don't either?
Yeah.
It's the very, very beginning of the article, too. It's President Cyril Ramaphosa.
Sure, we're going to go with that.
Yeah.
Said the ruling ANC will finalize proposed amendment allowing the move. The move, of course, being the government taking land from some of the white South Africans and giving it to black South Africans to undo so much of the damage that was caused during apartheid, where the white minority in South Africa was able to hoard wealth and means of production in the country. And now the government's finally doing something about it. They wanted to get it, I think it was like 30% by 2014. And as of now, they've only done about 10%. So they're lagging behind their goal.
Yeah, my thought on this is, it's always funny when you look through the lens of history. Like back when apartheid was going on, for the most part, Western society did not care. They were pretty much pro-apartheid, Reagan and Nixon in particular. And then suddenly, this is happening. Everybody's like, oh, wow, this is terrible. This is the worst news ever. Why would you do this? And it's like, I mean, what do you expect? You went to another people's country, took all of their land, like enforced like the most fucked up laws upon them, profited from it. And now you're upset that they want, reparations. Like, you have all of the best land, like it's all locked up to white people. Black people have like the most arid land out there that you can't use for farming. And now you're upset that, they're not even doing to you what, they did to Africans at all. All they're doing is taking back land. They're not doing all the things that came with apartheid. And so it's like, for me personally, I don't see this as a bad thing. I mean, there are better ways to go about it for sure, definitely. But at the very end of it, it was something that needs to be corrected. And if this is the way that they feel the best way to address it, then okay, word, like I'm all for it. So I don't know, maybe I'm biased because I'm black. I don't know. But it's just like, I mean, it's just wild to me that, all of a sudden the Western society, it's like, oh my God, this is a heinous thing. And it's like, bro, all of like fucking a couple decades ago, you were all doing the same fucking thing and to certain extents too. So I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? You can't systematically disenfranchise groups of people for decades upon decades upon decades and then end it and say, okay, we're all equal now. You don't get reparations for this. Let's shake hands and fucking stand around a bonfire screaming out kumbaya. That's not how it works. Like, that's not equality. Like, that's you washing yourself of guilt in any fucking wrongdoing. But there was still wrongdoing that needs to be corrected.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, full disclosure, I'm also very black, but it's one of those things where it's just kind of like, what are you going to do? Like, yeah, maybe there is a better way to go about this, but there was also a better way to go about it when, apartheid ended and you gave all the land to white South Africans. So you didn't do right then, and now you're trying to do right now, but it's not like you got it fair in the first place anyway. Like, no, you got it on some bullshit. So now you have to give it back. And that's fair in my opinion. Like, yeah, it sucks, but was it ever really yours to begin with? To me, the answer is no. Right. So, I mean, when you think of it from the perspective of, okay, people's land is about to be snatched from them, like, yeah, that sounds shitty, but then it also sounds horrible when you go back and think that people were not paid what they were owed when apartheid ended. Same thing with slavery. Like, what were we supposed to get? 40 acres and a mule? Did we ever get anything like that? No,
Sure as hell
we didn't. We sure as hell did not. And that is why the situation in America is what it is today. But if they're trying to correct that, which I really don't see how, I don't see this going well either way.
Yeah, it's definitely probably not going to go well.
But I can't be mad that this is something that they're trying to do either. So
yeah, a lot of people draw parallels to what happened in Zimbabwe under Mugabe when they did it. And it's like, I think it'll go a little bit differently than that, but we'll see.
Oh yeah, that's one of the things I read doing a little research on this, was that the sugarcane industry in South Africa is very, very concerned and getting involved, because with these, when they hand the land back over to people who aren't farmers, a lot of the time the land just doesn't get farmed on or isn't done well because they're not farmers. And so the sugarcane industry is trying to step in and educate these new landowners and trying to get current landowners to like chip in and create a community type thing. But time will tell if that works.
It's not like, the indigenous group, the black group that was there, that they didn't want to be farmers. Is that they were actually, they weren't allowed to be farmers. Like, they were prohibited from taking a lot of jobs that, were deemed for, the European group, because I'm not going to call them Africans. I refuse that shit. So it's like that people are acting like, oh, it was just whites wanted to work hard and become farmers. Like, ain't wrong, bitch. Like, they weren't allowed to be farmers in the first place. That was one of the jobs that they were discriminated against from doing, was being a farmer, among other ones. So it's not like, here are a group of people who are going to get land who don't want to learn, or who don't have the capacity to learn. So it's like, let us see how it plays out,
Right. It's like y'all caused the problem and now y'all have to fix it. So just fix it, which sounds very simple, but if you're trying to do this, then what else are you going to do aside from just try to fix the shit?
Yeah.
I mean, the big issue is that apartheid did exactly what they wanted it to do.
Yeah.
And it stripped the black populace of capital. And I mean, what was the point of trying to learn to be a farmer if you could never own farmland?
Right.
So after generations, those skills get lost because there's no use for them anymore.
Yeah. And a thing that I always see a lot of people argue online is like, oh, apartheid ended so long ago. It's like, bitch, apartheid ended in the mid fucking 90s.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like 1994. Please chill out just a little bit. Come on.
It's been around for a while, so people act like, oh, they keep talking about sins of the fathers. Like, motherfucker, the father's still alive in this instance. Like, what are you talking about? People who directly benefited from apartheid, they're still around. Like, they're still alive, breathing air. Like, so this isn't some 500 years ago thing that we're reversing. This is a fucking 40 years ago thing that we're reversing. Like, come on.
Right. And people are still directly benefiting from it. So I don't understand that argument at all.
But yeah, I hope that it works out well. And I don't know. It's hard for me to feel terrible for the white populace, because it's like, well, you got it through illegal means anyway. And you sure as hell didn't, quote unquote, work for it. And if the studies that I've read on statistics about wealth and inequality are to be true, they said that over 80%, 85% of the white population hoards all the wealth. So it's like, if you didn't make it, that's your own problem. You didn't work hard enough to steal land from other people. I don't really feel bad if you lose what little you have. Like, I'm sorry. Go back to where the fuck you came from, like you always tell us.
These topics don't flow at all.
I honestly feel like this is my fault because I am here, so I'm sorry.
No, I think it's just people don't understand how unprofessional this podcast is. This is how it is pretty much every time.
Yeah. That's what makes us the best podcast in the world.
So LeBron James is going to produce a docu-series for Showtime.
Yeah.
Shut up and dribble.
Yep.
It's titled "Shut Up and Dribble," and it's taken from the what's her face,
Lauren Ingram.
Laura Ingram's remarks to LeBron James in February.
Damn, that was that long ago.
Yeah,
Shit.
we're all slowly dying, Angelus.
Way to make that dark and depressing, Moris.
The controversy serves as a prologue to the series, as it chronicles the modern history of the NBA and its players, starting with the 1976 merger of the ABA and the conventional NBA. So it's going to be a 3-part documentary exploring how NBA athletes have used their platform for political change.
I'm going to watch it because, number one, LeBron made it. Number two, it's a direct fuck you to Lauren Ingram, so that's always going to be a good thing in my book. Number three, I get to learn some really dope shit about the history of the NBA and NBA players using their platform to speak out on political things.
Yeah, full disclosure, I'm a huge LeBron James fan, so if it sounds like I'm standing when I speak of him, it's because I absolutely am. But definitely now more than like 10 years ago, when it seemed like no one was saying anything. So I honestly feel like he's like the perfect person to produce something like that, especially with him, opening up his new school. I like how he took the title from what Lauren Ingram said to him to just shut up and dribble, because I still find it ridiculous that anyone would tell a grown-ass man what to do or not to speak out about things that affect his own community.
The whole statement of shut up and dribble is just really dumb in general, considering the fact that, the argument is, oh, he doesn't know anything about politics, he should stick to what he knows. And it's like, nigga, y'all voted for Donald Trump. Like, the fuck are y'all talking about? That man knows nothing about politics. He doesn't know shit about business. Motherfucker doesn't know shit about fucking building and construction, any of that shit. But y'all voted for this man to run our fucking country. Like, how about all of y'all hold y'all breaths and just stop breathing for a hot minute, or 3 or 8 or 20 or forever?
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, the thing that pissed me off about what she said was that, he gets paid $100 million a year to play basketball, but he knows nothing about politics. But it's just like, you guys, like you said, you guys voted for Donald Trump. That motherfucker didn't know anything about politics either. But here we are, and here you are standing up for Trump and saying that people listen to him and people voted for him because he knows anything about politics, but he doesn't at all.
Yep. And let's also not forget that fucking Donald Trump's a fucking billionaire. So if LeBron doesn't know anything about politics because he's a millionaire, bitch, why the fuck do you vote for Donald Trump? Like, come on.
Exactly.
That nigga's never been poor a day in his life. He's never even gone grocery shopping before. Like, fuck out of here.
No, but seriously, I'm like the LeBron James fan club over here. Love that man.
It's a great man. I'd vote for him.
Depending on what he's running for.
Right.
Where's he at now? LA? I'll vote. I can't really vote in California, but I'll find a way.
What do you mean can't really? Like, you cannot at all. There's no way.
I can start getting my mail to one of my friends who live out there for a couple years, and then hello. I've been here for 2
We
years.
don't need any more celebrities to be politicians.
We really don't, no.
We don't need rich people to be politicians either. Like, as much as I love LeBron James, we have to stop looking to fucking rich people to... I mean, they should be fixing everything, obviously. Capitalism is a hell of a fucking drug. But at this point, they're not going to do shit but keep their money. Obviously, I'm borrowing LeBron from this because, he just opened up a school or whatever. But I don't know, man.
I mean, I personally have never believed that rich people would ever help the poor. Like, if they were to do that, they wouldn't be rich.
Exactly.
I don't know. I just find it amazing that Donald Trump he told poor people, yo, listen, I'm one of you. Vote for me. It's like, Nick, if this works, and it worked. I was just
and
well,
they did
damn.
it. Right. And they absolutely voted for him. Also, his tweet about LeBron was just like, what? How are you the president of the United States?
Yeah. His tweet about him and Don Lemon, I was just like, bro.
I don't know. When Trump ended his tweet with, like, I like Mike, it's like, of course you like Michael Jordan. Like, of course you do. Why wouldn't
Michael Jordan made that terrible, just weak as shit statement. I support LeBron. Like, oh, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, my G.
Yeah, Michael, Kobe.
Do you think Michael Jordan voted for Donald Trump?
Probably. Hell yes.
Probably so, yeah. I wouldn't put it past him.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Michael Jordan's a multi-billionaire. He definitely voted for that nigga. No questions asked.
Right. Kobe Bryant probably did too. I feel like Kobe is a Trump supporter. I don't know why. It's something about his face.
Morris, how do you feel about that statement?
What do you mean?
As a Kobe fan, how do you feel?
I'm not a Kobe fan.
What? I thought you were.
Mm-mm.
That's good, man. That's good.
That's really good. Good for you. I'm glad to hear that.
Because he's a whole ass rapist, so I would have been really upset with you if you did.
You got to stand by your principles.
I respect this. This is good conversation.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, Kobe definitely voted for fucking Donald Trump. Him and man, I'm really sad that Kanye's a Trump fan too. That hurt me a little bit, honestly.
I'm really not that sad. It's just like whatever. You know, anybody who says slavery is a choice, just let Trump can have him.
Anyone who says slavery choice honestly needs to get their ass beat on a daily basis too. Like that's where I'm at really. Like if you say stupid shit like this, you kind of have to get your ass beat on a daily basis. It's necessary to balance everything out.
Yeah, violence is not the answer, but like some people really do need their asses beat.
That's where I'm at on it. You know, violence is not the answer. Ignore all the times on the podcast I've resorted to violence.
Yeah, I feel like it is, but you know, personally, I'm a huge fan of violence. Just kidding, but some people really do need to get their asses whooped.
Violence is not the answer, but a lot of the time there's no answer. So a good consolation for that sometimes is violence.
Yes, there we go.
All right, so the LeBron series, Shut Up and Dribble, was approved about a week or so ago, and he has another show called The Shop airing on HBO at the end of August that he's been doing for his Undefeated website for a while. And also on HBO in August is the 3rd season of Insecure.
Yes, bitch. I'm so excited. One of the best shows on TV.
I'm also very excited. Yeah, I love that show.
I didn't even watch until Angelus and Mike told me to.
It's better late than never, okay?
There you go. That's true. And like, it's a great show for the simple fact that all of the characters on there are so multidimensional. They're not like stereotypes or just one-dimensional characters who represent a certain archetype of the Black community. Like they are their own individual characters with strengths, weaknesses. They go through their ups and downs. And the story is something that anybody in their late 20s, early 30s as a Black person living in America can relate to on so many different levels. You know, you have Molly, who's super career driven and who's struggling to find herself and find love. You've got Issa, who is still struggling to get her career off the ground. You've got Lawrence, who went through a mental slump for like a year or 2 years, and he's now finding his footing. You've got, you know, Tiffany and them who got like this, what appears to be a perfect marriage. Everything's going their way. They're making money. You know, they seem happy. It's just a really good show because it has genuine dialogue about the problems that the trials and tribulations and also the good times that African Americans, even Africans, can relate to too. They go through in this country.
Yeah, I don't ever come off of watching that show feeling like I'm watching caricatures, like kind of like Orange is the New Black. When I first started watching that years ago, I don't watch that anymore. I'm not about that action, but I feel like that's what happens. I remember about 2 years ago, Orange is the New Black tweeted a picture of their writer's room, and it was all white people. Like, I don't think there was one person of color in that photo. So on Insecure, all of their writers are people of color, mostly Black people. So I feel like that's why I come from. I watched the show and I feel like, wow, I can actually relate to these people. It's when Issa does something that's stupid or funny, she doesn't do it for like the amusement of white people. You know, it's just funny because that's just who she is. I really like the show, and I'm excited for the 3rd season.
They have a great topic in mind for the 3rd season. Black toxic masculinity is something that is rarely ever talked about within the Black community, especially the older generation. Like, you're starting to see it talked about a lot now with our generation, and for good fucking reason. Like, has not been helpful to the community in really any way, and it's only hurt the community. Black women more so than Black men, but Black men suffer under the patriarchy as well. Obviously, a lot of us don't admit that to ourselves, but we do. And again, the season hasn't come out yet, but the fact that this is something that they're going to talk about and tackle head on, I think is going to be, number one, eye-opening for a lot of people, especially those who don't really pay attention to the kind of things. But I think that the show is going to present it in a way that men in particular will watch it and go, holy shit, I do that sometimes. Maybe I should reevaluate myself, reevaluate things I do and how I speak to people. And, you know, on some level, it does suck that at the very end of it, once again, it's up to a black woman. You know, it rests on a black woman to teach these things. I'm happy that it's being taught, but at the same time, that I do think about that a lot. Like, damn, even here in the entertainment business, it's taking a black woman to lead the conversation on this. Like, it's wild.
Issa said, I love black masculinity as it relates to black women. I think that's something interesting that we haven't gotten a chance to explore yet, and specifically toxic male black masculinity as it relates to black women. I'm trying to find a way to explore that and get a rounded storyline that isn't preachy.
Yeah, because I mean that can turn into like niggas ain't shit real quick, which is like, yeah, I mean I agree, but also you don't want it to be overbearing. You want it to kind of flow naturally, especially when we're watching it, because then it could alienate some audiences, I feel like, which is, in my opinion, fine, because I mean, I'm a very polarizing person myself, but I'm sure that's not what she wants to do, so I'm with it.
Yeah. It kind of does suck that Lawrence is not going to be there, because I feel like it would have been a great conversation piece for his character as well as Daniel, sorry. And it's like the fact that he won't be there kind of sucks. Like, I don't really care about
Wait, Lawrence is not going to be in the season? Sorry to cut you off.
No, he's not. Yeah.
Heard it here first.
Wow.
Yeah, he's even said it on Twitter. She told people to get over it, basically.
Oh. I mean, I don't even like Lawrence like that, but I still was interested to see where they were going to take his character, you know?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. Like, I understand why, I guess he's not going to be there, because they had closure on their relationship. And the funny thing is, somebody on Twitter was like, yeah, the reason why y'all are so bitter that Lawrence won't be there is because in your lives, your exes stick around.
Yeah, well.
So you were expecting them to stick around for Issa. But I mean, yeah, Lawrence not being there, it's going to suck for the fact that on the subject of black masculinity, toxic masculinity, he would be a very good focal point for that, because of the shit that how he, I guess, for lack of a better word, reacted to all of his situations and how he treated others in his various stages of anger and being upset. Or even just simply when he was down on his luck for those last 2 years and Issa basically, you know, was, for lack of a better word, coddling him for those 2 years that he had no job and he wasn't doing shit. Even that relates back to toxic black masculinity, this, you know, idea of, I'm just going to keep grinding until I get this, you know, this dream job. I'm not going to take anything else in the meantime. And that idea of, you know, unfortunately, black women being like mothers to their boyfriends, things like that. And I think that would have been really something good to talk about. But again, there's still Daniel's whole storyline with Issa and them being a couple or not. I don't even know what's going on with them right now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to season 3, just on the principle of the subject matter.
What Issa Rae said about the upcoming season. She says, I think we've watched our characters really fumble and fuck up. And in some ways, in your 20s, you're allowed that. This season is about not acting like you're naive anymore or that you don't know any better. So it's about what does it look like to know better and to do better. And I hope they do that aspect of the show well, because that was one of my biggest complaints of watching the other HBO show, Girls. It just felt like the characters were just miserable, shitty people, like season over season. And you just gets tiring. Like, oh, this is just a show about awful people. But Insecure, even in the 2 seasons it's had, it has shown that these people actually own up to their mistakes and realize they fucked up, even if they haven't really done anything to prove it to the audience. They have shown that they know that they should have probably done it a different way.
Right. I agree. The question of accountability is one of those things where I always want to see it in anything that as far as any media that I'm consuming. I feel like that's always one of those things where people kind of just like skate around. People kind of just skate around that in particular, is that nobody wants to be held accountable for any wrongdoing. And just like you said, with girls, it's literally just, oh, we're miserable and shitty, but it's okay because we're quirky, so it doesn't matter. Like, I fucking hate that. And I hate watching it. And I feel like it does the audience a disservice too, to have to even sit there and go through that. People seem to eat that shit up too. I don't know why. I watched like one episode of Girls and I was good on that. But I don't know. The thing with watching Insecure is that Issa is, I really like Issa as a character, but I also feel like she's very insufferable at the same time. Like some of the things that she does, especially in the first season. But it was nice to see in season 2 how she kind of came around and she accepted the fact that, okay, whatever happened with Lawrence, especially after, you know, they slept together. Spoiler alert, guys. Sorry. They slept together that time in the first episode. I really like how they came to talk about their relationship at the end of the series. And they both could admit that, okay, like maybe we didn't go about this the correct way at all. It should have ended better than it did, but it did not, and we both need to accept responsibility for that. So that's what I really like about the show.
Yeah, co-signing what she said. I mean, a lot, like, unfortunately for a lot of TV shows, character accountability is just not a thing at all. Like, writers skate past it all the time. Like, I guess, I don't know, having their character show weakness and show faults, they don't like writing that or something. I don't know, but I've always been happy that, you know, this is going to be something that she tackles on. And even she's already tackled it in some ways, you know, the fact that their characters admit, wow, you know, we fucked up here and we did this wrong is a breath of fresh air when you compare it to a lot of shows where it's just like the character will realize that they fucked up, but they never admit to it. And then the plot just moves forward and you're just like, okay, so y'all not going to address this at all? Like, you know, like two characters might have beef one episode and the fucking next episode they're chill again, and just like, okay, what the fuck happened between here? Like,
right, what did we learn from this?
So I'm really happy on that because it's like I feel like this is a show that if Twitter has been any indication, is a show that always starts dialogue within the community and the diaspora in general. And so I'm really excited for the next season, if only to see the conversations that are going to be had on Twitter and other places. And on a tangent, I also think that that's also something that Atlanta does pretty well too. Not nearly as well as Insecure does, but I think that's something that they do well. Characters' interactions and admitting when they're wrong and things like that. Maybe that's why I like that show as much as well. Or it could be because everybody's black on there. I don't know. Maybe both.
I watched one episode of Atlanta. Just one. And I died laughing the entire time. So I probably should just go ahead and check out the whole thing, but I have my reservations, but that episode was funny, so
just watch it. Just watch it. I think you'll appreciate it. Are you still trying to find a way to make these flow, Moris?
So Alex Jones.
Oh shit.
Well,
that was a good segue.
Right.
So Alex Jones was banned and had his content removed from Google, Apple, Spotify, and Facebook, YouTube, all the big major social media platforms. Because if you're not familiar with Alex Jones, he peddles a lot of conspiracy theories. And in a few instances, like I believe the Sandy Hook shooting at the elementary school, he said that it was a hoax, that the children were actors. And it got so bad that some of the parents of the children were harassed and forced to move from their homes. And in a couple of instances, the parents had to leave so far they can't visit their children's graves out of fear that they'll be targeted again.
Yep. And now he's being sued by said parents. So,
yeah. I've been seeing a lot of people argue, oh my God, his First Amendment rights are being impaired. I'm like, bro, you do realize these are private owned entities with their own rules and regulations for how you behave on their platform. And he violated them. So I'm not really sure how this is a First Amendment issue, unless you're suggesting that, I don't know, the government should take over these entities and regulate them, which is a very scary argument to be making just because your favorite racist piece of shit got banned from them. Like, it's really wild to see people make the argument of, you know, quote unquote First Amendment rights and then they try to make it under this guise of, oh, I would be like, this is something that we should really be concerned about, blah blah blah. And it's like, were you this concerned about these mythical First Amendment rights when YouTube was banning, say, Black Lives Matter, or when they were banning pro-ISIS web channels? I highly doubt it. So why all of a sudden are you complaining about it now, my guy? Like, let's be consistent in our arguments here.
Yeah, that's all I ask, is just please be consistent. And I mean, you have to it's a moral issue, in my opinion, as far as them banning him. Like, I don't even think people should be bringing up freedom of speech, First Amendment, because you have to be a special kind of shit to say that people's children who were massacred were crisis actors, or the people who were, emotional on television were crisis actors, to the point where their parents can't even go visit their graves because your followers are harassing them. I don't know why they let him rock for that long, honestly.
Yeah, because the Sandy Hook shooting was like 6 years ago.
Yes.
And he's been on that hoax train since then. So I do wonder what actually occurred to get Apple to do that. Because I think they were the first domino to fall.
Yeah, I think that it's like mostly spurred on by his lawsuit, because it's like they don't want to be implicated in that lawsuit by the families. Like, you guys help spread this shit, by having him on your platform, despite the fact that there have been many complaints lodged against him. I don't know, like, I'm just taking a guess at it, but I would imagine they would want to distance themselves from him because of that.
Yeah, I don't know. Twitter didn't ban him though. Twitter actually released a lengthy statement on why they would not ban him, but who was surprised? Twitter allowed literal Nazis to run wild on their platform they're still allowing it, so I'm not surprised by that at all, but they claim that he hasn't violated any of their terms on Twitter, so that's the reason why he's allowed to still have a platform there.
It's really weird to see people argue in his defense, as if this guy is owed a platform. Like, you're not owed a platform to spew your rhetoric on any, like, it makes no sense to try to argue that as a right as a citizen, that you have the right to say what you want on another person's platform that they created. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, and free speech doesn't work like that either. Just because you say something doesn't mean you're not going to be held accountable for saying it, or you're not going to face consequences for saying it. It's like, yeah, he can say it, and he has said it several times, and he's still saying it on whatever his website is. I'm not going to plug that here because fuck him, but he's facing consequences for it for whatever reason. I'm still not certain of the reason, because this all just seemed to happen so quickly. Because I heard about that lawsuit maybe months ago on like the New York Times podcast. So yeah, I'm not sure why the dominoes are falling now, but whatever. At the same time, get him the fuck out of here.
Alex tweeted about the situation, saying, "Understand this. The censorship of my site just vindicates everything we've been saying. Now who will stand against tyranny and who will stand for free speech? We're all Alex Jones now."
Well, the fuck we're not.
No, we're not.
I'm definitely not Alex Jones.
We need to ask Mike next time if he's Alex Jones.
The thing is that his website wasn't even banned. Like, your website's still up, my guy. Like, your argument already fell apart by saying that they banned you from your own website. Like, your domain is still there. You just got banned from other platforms. Like, your own individual platform that you created is still very much up and running. It's just you can no longer spit your rhetoric on another person's platform that they built. Like, they get to set and make the rules that you need to abide by, and because you did not abide by them, you violated them multiple times, so they kicked you off. That's how it works. Like, I don't understand why you're crying. Like, quit being a piece of shit human being and you won't have these problems.
Right. And on the flip side, doesn't this like increase revenue to his own site, because now you have to go directly there to I guess listen to whatever the fuck he's talking about. So now you have to go there. And as far as Apple is concerned, all you have to do is feed the URL, whatever, like to his podcast into Apple Podcasts, and you can still access that.
I don't think his audience is that savvy.
I I don't want to give them any ideas. Then make sure you edit that out. They're not listening to this shit. They're not listening.
Yeah, they're not listening to this shit. The amount of times we said white people, boy.
His live stream usually hits like several 100,000 viewers, and the one he did after all his stuff was taken down was at like 3,000.
Sounds
so
good.
He does get a lot of promo off Facebook and those other platforms. But this just makes me think of the larger issue of how big a national security threat racism is. When you have people so stupid to believe the things that this guy's saying.
Yeah, I mean, racism is unfortunately ingrained in the very fabric of this country, which is why I have absolutely no faith in it ever being better than it is currently. So, I mean, Alex Jones being able to spit his rhetoric and nobody, be like, hey, this is pretty fucked up. It's par for the course for this country, honestly. Because I don't think that there's any country that's perfect, but I'm pretty damn sure, like if he would have done this shit in Canada, they'd be like, whoa, buddy, like, what are you doing, eh? Like, you got to cancel that, Here, it's just like, oh, he might be right. And it's like, really, man, he's spreading conspiracy theories about child actors in a fucking school shooting, man. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
And he's been allowed to do this for, I think, 2 decades now? So, or at least a decade. So it's not like it's going to get any better.
Yeah, I have no faith that it'll ever get better.
Right. All he's going to do is make himself look like a victim, and the people who follow him will continue to follow him. It's just that now your stupid racist uncle won't be able to access it on Facebook.
He'll just run for a political position within the Conservative Party and probably win.
Probably.
Unfortunately, they love that kind of shit.
SoWellSpoken.com. At SoWellSpokenPod on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Why do we always end so well spoken on my last word, man? I feel like this is all like some kind of setup. Like, people hear my shit and like, this motherfucker right here.
You decide to say these things. And no one's making you say anything.
Right. You're responsible for your own words, okay?
We're all Alex Jones now, Angelus. Start acting like it.
So they're putting chemicals in the water, man. Stay woke.
Making Angelus militant. Mike wasn't here today, but thanks to Brittany for coming through.
Yes, thank you. I pestered you so much for this.
Thanks for having me. You did, and I was very nervous, so sorry if I ruined any dynamic here, but I had a lot of fun.
You did not ruin any dynamic, yo. It was very dynamic with you here. So I'm probably going to call you back one day like, France, we come back again.
Mike's sweating right now.
Mike's like, shit, I'm being replaced. All this for a hug.
Wait, is Mike a where's my hug type person? You know what? Let's not answer that.
No, let's answer this. Let's talk about this.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about it.
Because I think Mike, a couple years prior to being on the podcast, might have been a where's my hug type.
Oh, definitely. I would say he was probably a where's my hug type person until he got his car. And then he was just like, you know what? I don't need your damn hug.
And I'm not being disparaging. I'm saying Mike has grown a lot.
He definitely has.
Since I've known him.
Yeah, easily.
Okay, that's good. I mean,
we love you, Mike.
Did he? Poor Mike. It's okay, Mike. I'm your biggest fan. I also follow you on YouTube too. Excuse me, not follow. I'm subscribed to you on YouTube.
Oh,
I think that's him.
He actually has a fan. That's crazy.
He's usually just streaming to us.
Yeah. The brand is expanded. Oh shit.
If you want to watch Mike's YouTube or Twitch channel, it's on SoWellSpoken.com too. The links to all that.
He's got some good streams, good entertainment.
Except that one time.
Except for that one time in Crash, this nigga kept fucking up this level.
It was like last week. I was trying to watch one of his streams and he was just texting on his phone. I think it was for his Crash Bandicoot stream.
Yeah, I watched Mike fuck up a simple platforming on Crash like multiple times. I got so frustrated. I was like, yo, fam, what is going on?
Is he playing like the remaster on the Switch?
It was on a PS4. It was like literally just jump on a platform. It wasn't even anything complicated. It was literally jump on the platform. And Mike kept fucking up. And I got real angry for no reason. I was like, why are you messing up, Mike? Please.
I mean,
That's Fire Trainer 92.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fire Trainer 92. In Mike's defense, they made that crash game a little harder. In his defense, I mean, I don't know. About
it was a platform.
Oh, we heard that defense. He gave us that defense immediately when Angelus called him out on it.
It was a simple platform, yo.
Just trying to help you out, Mike.
The ledges are rounded now, according to Mike.
It was a simple flat platform, yo. It was like a Mario 1 level platform. You just jump and that was it. He would overjump it, underjump it, or wait until it went up in the air, then jump. I was just like, Mike, please, I'm actually getting frustrated and angry at you.
He's doing his best, man.
He is. Bless his heart.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Of course. Thank you for being here. Hopefully next time we do this, we can get Mike here because it'll be hilarious to have Mike's input on a lot of things. And one day we'll get Slay back on here.
Maybe.
That's
never
never
happened.
happened.
To that guy?
He just kind of just stopped showing up. He just could not be asked to show up. So we were like, okay, we're going to move on without you, my guy.
He's still in our chat for this podcast that we created.
Is he alive?
He just doesn't say anything.
Oh,
he's alive.
Oh, okay. What'd you guys do to him?
We were nothing but kind to that man.
Basically. Except for that one time we laughed on we laughed in his face on that podcast when he choked on his words. But we did nothing to Slay. We've been nothing but kind-hearted to Slay.
He's been gone for a while, right?
Yeah.
It feels like over a year now, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's definitely over a year.
Yeah, because I started listening to you guys maybe like 2 years ago. Maybe, possibly.
Oh, so you've heard the 10 show since then?
She's heard the old ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard everything.
Even the first ones?
No, those I haven't. You guys got those. Yeah, those were gone.
We definitely got rid of those before people can hear
those. Those are locked in a safety deposit box somewhere.
Bro, those are struggle as shit. We had like 80 people fucking talking at the same
It was like
time.
the fucking Wu-Tang Clan.
People had like fucking Canon string for fucking mics. It was terrible.
Well, I mean, you guys are just starting out. It's okay. It sounds really professional now. I didn't hear them, so I'm just going to assume that you guys were very professional from the beginning.
Yes, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Our very first podcast we dropped, we were like, yo, this is the most professional shit ever. We all had nice mics, sound levels were good, all of that. You know, every once in a while we have Dream show up, but like he's busy being rich, so he comes when he wants to.
Oh yeah, that guy too.
Yeah, no, he's
The one
He's
with
still
the,
around.
like, the-
He comes and goes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's just really he's spending much time with money and stuff like that. He's like rich. He doesn't really bother with us a lot.
Is he rich though?
No, he actually really is.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of sucks having him around because he kind of rubs in our faces just by existing.
Yeah, basically.
Aston Martin shopping today.
Yeah, I'm still real upset he told me that. He texted me like, yo, man, I'm thinking about getting an Aston. I was like, an Aston what?
I love being broke.